Hello Epic 7 newbies, this is Suspect Amy, and I'm here to do a quick video going through recent reviews of Epic 7 on the App Store and giving my honest take on some of them. If you're new and you're looking for a fun gacha game to play, going through recent reviews can be a little off-putting, especially when a game is getting review bombed like this. Are these overreactions or is the game really going downhill? Let's dive into it. Okay, what's this? I love it. Coolest game I've ever seen. What the heck are these reviews from 3 years ago still doing on the front page? No, we have to get the recent stuff. That's better. Makes you download a 5 GB patch. How about having the most current versions available on the App Store initially? Also during that, you can't mute the completely unneeded music video on loop or control the volume so your phone is useless for an hour. Skeptical of the game quality after this nonsense. So, for starters, pretty much every game does this. Maybe not 5 gigs, but it's normal. I just reinstalled Blue Archive, and their download was 7 gigs. I'm a mobile app tester as my main job, and I'm pretty sure the App Store won't even let you have a 5 GB app sitting there to be downloaded. And not being able to turn down the volume of your phone? I don't know. Sounds like user error, right? Moving on. No balance, do not play. This game started as the most promising, but the developers forgot how to balance the game. New content is stale, and they do not know how to nerf or balance units. They claim to be a competitive game, but reality is much different. You are forced to use the meta flavors of the week that are super overpowered. Ugh, this is a very good take, and probably a decent reason to give a 1-star review. I mean, if you watch videos from Hamsloth and Grass Angel, they are constantly taking off-meta units into PvP, and doing really well with them, so I don't think you are necessarily forced to play meta heroes. You can also now ban 3 heroes from your opponent's roster that you don't want to play against, so this helps a little, but he's right. There are really strong units with fewer counters, and they're often the ones that are very expensive to get. Also, spot on about nerfing. I've been playing for over 2 years, and I think Smilegate has only nerfed like 2 or 3 heroes in that time. This is really something they are against. 99% of the units are unused trash. Thanks for ruining Arena. Is this about game balance or the recent Arena changes? I think my previous feedback covers some of this, so let's move on. Wow, that's rare. A 5-star review. This one took me by storm. I haven't played a decent gacha in a while, but when I saw my buddy play this and saw the character models, I just had to give it a shot. I'm a bit late to the party, but better late than never. The sounds, music, and graphics are all great. What is this, a paid review or something? Actually, it's a good take. I think when people rate things they love about the game, art is almost always number 1. Voice actors are often number 2 and very high-end. I don't know about the music, though. Lost account. Yeah, we're skipping any reviews about account or login issues because these seem to affect, like, 1% of the players and don't tell you anything about the game. 1500-day login player telling you to stay away. They just put up a new event to sell players guaranteed 15 speed stat plus 15 speed crit set with the single greediest battle pass I think I've ever seen. 2 paid-only battle passes with multiple $100 tiers. I love this game. Probably shaved years of my phone's battery life chasing better stats. And here comes SG selling gear that takes years to get for $30. Retract this whole event. Throw it in the garbage where it belongs, refund purchases on the new battle pass, make the gear buyable with Skystones, and give them more time to get it. It's worth the players having the option to grind this gear out, because speed creep is a huge problem and making higher speed stats more accessible would help balance PvP. But making it cash shop only like it is now? This is nothing less than a betrayal of the player base and a naked cash grab. Reverse course now or I'm done, and so will a lot of other players. Court whales this aggressively at your own peril. Wow. At your own peril? This guy must write Victorian novels or something in his spare time. Okay, first off, what is 1500 days? That's over 4 years of playing. So I find this surprising from a 4-year account. 15 speed is, what? 2 max rolls into speed and a reforge? Maybe 3 rolls if you roll badly. This is not that much. I throw 15 speed pieces of gear in the trash all the time. He says it takes years to get this gear. I don't know about that. Secondly, the gear score on the buyable equipment was like, what? 85 or 88 or something? If this was 105 or even 100 gear score, I would be pretty upset, but this is kind of upper end of mid gear. I bought these sets and most of these pieces are going unused, and I don't think I have a very strong account. I think the main point was to help new players get into PvP a bit quicker, especially since gear is the trickiest part of the game to get your head wrapped around. I am not sure how much this helps new players though. I think the shop had 3 sets maybe? I feel like you need at a minimum like 12 decently built heroes to bring to RTA, so this is barely equipping a quarter of their team. However, this guy brings up another complaint about balancing PvP at the end. That's the 3rd review that mentions this so far. So that's a very legitimate concern. Game has become a scam. Only way to get new characters is to save up for pity or be a whale. FGO has better pull rates and theirs are abysmal. Good take. If he's talking about Mystic Summons, which is how you get the newest Moonlight heroes, those banners are ridiculous. No kidding, you can spend $400 there to pity a hero. I very, very rarely get heroes from Mystic Summons without needing to pity. But RGB heroes are fun and easier to get, and many are very strong. Just know if you want the latest Moonlight hero, get ready for some pain. Dev, you need to open the Hall of Trial. This is frustrating. 1-star review because they closed down a mode for a week or something to implement a rework? This is a good take. Devs could have handled this better. Still, I'm not sure why this guy cares so much. Trial is something you do, like, once a month. Maybe he really needed to buy something from the shop? Paid gear. We covered this in my last post, but interesting how many people were upset about it. Account removed, skip. The art is great and the early game is consistently fun. Though around Chapter 3, it starts to get grindy and unpleasant. The rates are terrible and the resources for pulling cannot get you to a pity. Even grinding for several months for Moonlight. Overall 4 stars due to the unusually high randomness and low rates on everything. Nice, more art kudos. We covered the Moonlight summons already. A quick thing on the high randomness. Epic 7 is one of the only games I know that has a lot of RNG in the gameplay. This is a legitimate complaint. Like, the main reason I stopped doing Abyss is because you do these, 40-minute long fights and the boss resists some 85% debuff, or lands some 15% stun on your healer and ruins the entire fight. Removing RNG from PvE would help the game quite a bit. App tracking. When an app asks to track you, you authorize them to see what other apps you are using and your location. Okay, so I feel like every app asks to track you, but looking at other apps and tracking your location is way overkill. There's not even any ads in Epic 7. Maybe this guy is using a Facebook login or something? Recent arena change is worst update in years. I've played since launch, and this new update forces players to do arena for the same rewards we've been getting for years. If the mode got more engaging, sure, but it's the same mode just requiring more effort now. I already do enough things in-game and have limited time. I'll likely drop the game if this change isn't reversed. I wonder what he means by he's being forced to do this. I think you can still grind it for a couple of hours and settle in at a high rank, then collect rewards without playing for several months until next season. Maybe he means he now has to complete the battle pass? Well, that is something new they added as part of the rework, so technically if he doesn't get anything from the battle pass, it will be identical to what he was getting before the rework, right? My thoughts on the arena rework is, well, think about it. Here we are, 6 years into a game, and they keep reworking game modes. Most other 6-year-old gacha games are dying a slow death right now, but not Epic 7. We're getting new improvements constantly, so it goes to show how much Smilegate cares about the game. Sure, they'll do some things that you might not like, or they'll mess up, but I love how the company is trying their best to keep things fresh. As long as there's no greedy cash grab added to a change, I would always prefer this over a game that never changes and was spiraling downhill. Is the arena rework perfect? No, like he said, they could make it more engaging, but I like that they're trying new things. Arena changes are awful. Covered that, what's next? Running out of space. There are more heroes than roster spots. This cannot be upgraded. Gear inventory only goes to 500, for over 300 heroes. PvE is no longer fun. PvP is a chore. This game had a great foundation, but over time, greedy practices destroyed this game. The developer is actively trying to end service. Loyal players just don't want to see it. Updated content only means new pay-to-win heroes and nothing new to do. The developer has a new game coming soon. I expect EOS shortly after. Not a bad take at all. The space stuff he complained about was fixed. They added a bunch more slots for gear and heroes. PvE was never that fun to begin with, to be honest. Developer actively trying to end service. That's weird, we just talked about the major reworks they are doing. Why even bother if they want this game to die? That doesn't make sense at all. Also, Smilegate already launched a new game just last year. It's called Outer Plane. It's kind of a more modern 3D version of Epic 7. That game doesn't seem to get anywhere close to the level of support from Smilegate that Epic 7 does. Who knows how the next game will do? Too confusing, way too much going on. This game seems fun, but there is way too much going on in the lobby and way too many sections. For example, going to the labyrinth, there is 4 labs and then 4 sections in one of those sections. Can't grasp what to do next and how to advance without watching a YouTube video. Not worth the effort. Other than the fact that this guy doesn't know how to spell 2, this is a good take. I think this comes with the territory with 6-year-old games. They added a crapload of content over that time, and I can totally see how new players can get overwhelmed. The labyrinth stuff, there's a lot there, but you only have to clear it once ever. Once you're done, you don't ever go back except to do Hell Raid once a week or something. I do like this take. Didi is probably the top Epic 7 newbie guide YouTuber, and his new player guides are something like 6 parts and almost an hour each. I can totally see a new player saying it's not worth it. Look at Epic 7's response here. Rest assured, we are dedicated to thoroughly reviewing the feedback provided by our users and working tirelessly to bring even more engaging content in the future. This is funny because he's complaining that there's too much content. I don't think these guys are thoroughly reviewing feedback as much as they think they are. Okay, let's do one last one and wrap this up. Facebook users are being tracked. Guys, try not to log in everywhere with your Facebook account. I've never trusted that company. That one doesn't count. Good game, but connection issue. Doesn't count. Okay, why am I skipping 50 to 100 times within the first hour of playing? Can I not skip all? Really annoying, that's the only bad take I have. You know what? A lot of these recent reviews seem to be from new players trying the game for the first time. This is a really promising sign for a 6-year-old game. Anyways, this guy has a great take. Honestly, I think games that embed story dialogue into their PvE campaign are hard to deal with. When you start some bit of the story, then stop and do some fighting, then continue some more story, you often forget what the plot is. Epic 7 is unusually bad at this. Dialogue before a battle, midway through the battle, and at the end of battle. I mentioned I just reinstalled Blue Archive. This is an excellent example of how to handle story. It's completely separate from the campaign, so you can go through story without interruption if you actually want to. The story isn't forced on you as part of the campaign. Anyways, that took a long time, but I really hope this video helps someone who's thinking of starting or coming back to Epic 7. Weed through all of the horrible recent reviews a bit. That's all I have today. Thanks for watching my video. Bye, everyone.